What did you like better, Jedi or The Empire Strikes Back?
Empire.
Blasphemy.
Empire had the better ending. I mean, Luke gets his hand cut off, finds out Vader's his father, hand gets frozen, taken away by Boba Fett. It ends on such a down note. I mean, that's what life is, a series of down endings. All Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show, and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. Now, here's Chris Carone and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris. I'm Paul. And this will be an absolutely spoiler-free edition. Well, because I haven't seen Star Wars: The Force Awakens yet. We're actually, by this time, in 48 hours, I'll be getting ready to close up my store, and I will be driving over to the movie theater to watch. Unfortunately, I wanted to go to the 7:30 show. I wanted to go to like the 7:30 show, but I couldn't, so I'm going to like the 10:10 show because, you know, I had to be like a responsible adult or whatever.
Stop your complaining.
And I bought 2 tickets. I bought 2 tickets with like thinking like I'm gonna get a date and go see Star Wars, but that's not gonna happen.
What?
Yeah, no chick really gives a fuck about Star Wars.
Where in your? I don't even know how to say. I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, if I bought 1 ticket, I would have felt fucking sad and pathetic. But you know, so I got 2 tickets. I got a coworker that he's kind of like on the fence whether he was gonna go or not. So I said, you know, if you want to go, and he said, all right. So I guess, you know, it's gonna, it's gonna be weird, but then again, I mean, going to the movies, I mean, it'd be fun after the movies to go with someone, because then like after the movie you could talk about how awesome it was. But you know, actually during the movie, you know, you're gonna be, you know, you're not like you're talking to each other or anything like that. And you know, obviously, I mean, this totally brings you back to 1999, and you know, getting all hyped up to see episode 1, buying the fucking, you know, the movie came out in May, and I remember buying like the tickets like in March or April. Back in those days, back when you had like DSL, and my friend and I, we both had our computers going at the same time. DSL. Like, yeah, and we're both like, okay, if you get the tickets, then you know, we both were sitting in front of our computers, like anticipating, you know, who can get the tickets first or whatever. We're like, okay, if you get it, then you order it, and I'll just pay you the money back. And it's, you know, nowadays, you know, they're saying, if I understand correctly, and my sources could be wrong, but they said this movie already minus merchandising has already sold $50 million in pre-sales, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
it's one of the highest pre-sales.
I mean, obviously, but it, you know, it's so weird, like there are movies out there that would kill for $50 million in the long run, and here we are just in pre-sales, not DVDs, not international, not, you know, just so. I mean, we'll get more into Star Wars later on. Before we start actually recording proper, we'll play at the end of this episode. I recorded once again coming to Paul's house when I don't have internet in my house and I go to the library.
You're a fucking mooch, you son of a bitch.
I'm a fucking mooch. But I mean, I came bearing gifts today. I brought some chicken. I'm like, please, I'll feed you. Come here. You know, I mean, I don't want to be like a total fucking bum empty hand. I mean, if I can't afford a month's worth of fucking internet, at least I can afford...
That's all right. Darrell's jealous, so it's fine.
I can afford some fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. But, that being said, we had, and you'll hear it towards the end of the episode, I had recorded kind of reaction for the trailers for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day Resurgence, and Star Trek Beyond, and you'll get more of that later on.
Star Trek Meow.
Star Trek Meow. Am I saying meow?
Meow.
So, all right, let's talk about Cray Chicks. There's a little segment.
Are we really doing this now?
I really want to. Because the funny thing, I literally have like 3 things I can talk about, and I don't want to waste it all like in one episode. Because I'm trying to think of how women like big dumb animals, or
wait, isn't that the same thing as a guy?
Well, that's the whole thing. Is that let me tell you. Okay, well, we'll stick with that one. I'll save the others for another episode. Okay, but why is it when I'm on, okay, you know, no shame in my game. I mean, you know, like I go on dating sites or whatever, and
For shame, sir. For shame.
for shame, yes, for shame. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Being single definitely puts, I think, a lot of things in perspective. Puts past relationships in perspective. You know, I was with people for the wrong fucking reasons and shit like that. And you know, but then again, you also like, you know, well, you know, kind of like, oh, I question myself. Why wasn't she loyal or whatever? But it's like, you know, it's fucking
Why isn't she loyal?
Because these bitches fucking, you know, they weren't mature enough and they do stupid shit.
They got sticks up their ass. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like, at least I could sit back and say, you know what, I was good to you. Fuck you. I hope the rest of your life is horrible and miserable because, you know, I gave you the best years of my life, bitch, and you know, here and now I'm single again. But I've noticed when I go look at these dating sites, these dating profiles, so many, every one of these women have dogs.
I never thought about that.
And let me tell you, and how, okay, that's one. And also, like, if you're on a dating site, you have a dating profile. They only have, if you have like the most the free profile, you know, not that you're paying, because I'm pretty sure, I think you get more pictures if you have like a paid profile, but you know, the free basic bare bones fucking picture that you're allowed to have, I think you're allowed like 5 to 6 photos. Why are you sharing a picture of your dog? You know, and and I can understand like maybe you with your dog, but just your dog. And like, you know, and I get like maybe, and you know what? Even if there was a caption like, "Oh, here's the other man in my life" or something like that, I would even get that. But like when you look at it, you know, well, first it's funny when you see the girls who post a picture where it's like their profile picture is more than one person in the shot. Like it'll be a picture of them and her friend.
Yeah, and then you're supposed to play this fucking guessing game like, which girl is it? Oh wait, I hope it's the hotter one.
It's the fat one. As soon as
God, it's the Duff.
Because then you go, you click on the next picture, and it's, you know, and then it's a picture of her with her family, and you're like, okay, she's, you know, her and her brothers and her dad, and like, oh, it's that one, you know. But and then somebody, you know, it sounds like a joke, and I wish I was exaggerating, and I'm not exaggerating this for poetic effect or artistic effect. So many women on dating sites will put a picture of their dog in their profile, and it comes down to it. I think women like big dumb animals. I think women like their men, because, you know, like we've said before in the past, like women who like, you know, they want a guy that's 6'1" or whatever. But yeah, but you notice, you never hear a woman say, "I want a smart guy." You know what I'm saying? I've never on all the dating sites, when they say smart, like, I mean, yeah, they may say smart. I don't think they mean it. Women like, they want a big dumb Al Bundy loyal dog. Not Al Bundy, but you know what I mean, like, you know, Al Bundy. Because I mean, there was an episode where I think like Peg Bundy kind of called him like a big dumb dog or something like that. You know, if you could personify a dog into a man, if you turn a dog into a man, that's how they want. They want a big dumb animal that would do everything they say, totally loyal. You know, but then oddly enough, they're the ones who call men dogs when the dog when they go and start fucking around. So in this week's Cray Cray Chicks, women with their big dumb animals. And I'll save the other stuff for other episodes. Okay, and while we're talking about women, can we please stop the madness and stop considering Adele attractive and stop considering.
Wait.
Look,
what?
Adele is not attractive. I don't think I can go on a date. I could go once again, you know, bring it right back
to
the
British
me
accent
and the dating
you
sites.
Don't like the British accent, do you?
No, I don't mind a British accent. And mind you, I didn't, because while we're recording this last night, she had not a live concert. She had a concert that was recorded and aired on TV last night, and they were talking about it on the radio. And they were saying that when she speaks, I've seen one interview with her where they took her and they put ugly makeup on her, for the lack of a better term. They gave her like a big nose and buck teeth or whatever, and they were trying to do some sort of like, they had her going to sing like karaoke, which is something they did with Jewel years ago. Now, I don't find Adele attractive at all. I think she looks like a fat guy in drag.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I don't want to insult fat guys in drag. I'm just saying is that, like, when you look at her face, like, you know, there are women who they call it contouring, where you put makeup on that makes your face look slimmer, or will make your nose look smaller, or you less have bags under your eyes. Adele has so much fucking contouring on her face. She looks like
the views of Chris Cologne do not necessarily.
I'm just saying, you know, when they have you know, the reviews, you know, like the drag queens and female impersonator shows and stuff like that. Adele looks like a guy in drag. A good, you know, I'm not saying she looks like like a man, but she wears far too much makeup.
Okay, all right, look. Is she a Taylor Swift where she's hot, or a Katy Perry where she's really hot? No. However, I think that she is attractive. I just don't think that. I mean, the only thing that deters me from something like that is, like, don't get me wrong, I like a foreign accent. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like a turn on, but the way she talks sometimes, I'm just like.
Well, they were talking about that on the radio. They were saying that when she was speaking in between songs, you didn't know what the fuck she was saying. She has a heavy accent.
Yeah, she has a very heavy accent, and it's just like, please kill me.
But yet when she sings like an American. If you never knew that she was British and you heard her singing, and a lot of British people do that. Fucking, Elton John, fucking what's his face, the one that got caught blowing guys in the fucking. Not Boy George, George Michael, saying, like, a lot of British singers sound American when they sing, and she sounds American. She sounds like a black chick when she sings. Adele sounds, saying, like, I think, don't be wrong, I think Adele is heavily influenced by Aretha Franklin, but I just, like, I bet that if you took all that makeup off Adele and you got her plain, like you got her without the fucking crew of people making her up, she would look like half the girls on the fucking dating sites. I don't think she's attractive. I think she's mildly, she's attractive for a girl on the street, for the girl next door, but she's not attractive for. And of course, I'm taking away from her talent or whatever. Okay, I'm saying her voice is fucking fine.
You know what? Wait a minute. Let me stop you here. Let me ask you this question. Mm-hmm. So if you came into your room, she was naked on your bed, you wouldn't do anything to her?
Well, that's different.
Exactly. I don't want to fucking hear anymore.
I mean, there are very few people I wouldn't have sex with if they were naked.
Wait. Let me go a step further. This woman has made millions of dollars in money. You're telling me you wouldn't date this chick to get some money?
I mean,
I know you better than that.
Yeah, I'm just saying yes, of course that would be a factor, but I'm just saying is if she never became famous and she didn't have a crew of people working on her makeup and a crew of people, she would look like the average big boned girl on the fucking street. You know what I'm saying? That just happened to have a good halfway decent singing voice. And I'm kind of feeling now, they're promoting this movie with Tina Fey and the other chick, they're doing a movie called Sisters. And I kind of want to stop the madness of people saying Tina Fey's attractive. She's getting a little long in the tooth. And I don't, and it's like, and I don't, and of course, look, I understand I'm a 300 fucking pound, bald, fat guy with a fucking, Duck Dynasty beard, a Duck Dynasty goatee. I understand where I'm coming from. I know my place, but I'm not, I'm not getting bad I don't want to say accolades. That's not the right word, but I mean, was she cute for about 5 minutes? Yeah, she was kind of cute, but now she's, and I'm not, and I've never been one of those like MILF guys. Like I've never had that, like, I like, give me a 40-year-old woman, that knows what she's doing or whatever. I've never been one of those MILF guys. And I'm not like fucking like, give me a little girl either. I'm not, I kind of want to be with someone closer to my age, and I don't find her attractive. I mean, I don't know, because she came up my news feed because I guess like Colin, what the hell's his name? Colin Quinn from Saturday Night Live. I guess he had called her a cunt or whatever back in the day or whatever, and then they made up at the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary thing. Okay, so next up on my list. Okay, like I said, when I don't record, when I'm not here in Paul's house, I get my internet at the local library. I want to say the local library. I'm talking about the town of Irondequoit. Town of Irondequoit, for people, for the 99% of their listeners outside of Rochester, is the suburbs of Rochester, and it's a brand new building. It's been built sometime in the past like 2 years, because I remember like back when there were a few episodes where one of my co-hosts was a girl named Jen, and her and I, we were talking about them when they were talking about the library. So this thing, I mean, the podcast is older than this fucking library. Right. It's a beautiful building, not as big as I expected it to be. The internet, the connection I get is halfway decent upload speeds, which, it's not public internet. It's not meant for uploading, but for all intents and purposes, it gets the job done. It's a nice building, but I think, and you would think you would have this problem in the fucking in the ghetto, in the fucking hood. People don't fucking appreciate the fact that it's a library. And I say this saying that, like, there are people who have full-blown, loud-ass conversations. And I had a guy today on speakerphone. This is a fucking library. Now, don't get me wrong. I sit in front of my computer. I put my headphones on. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm aware of my surroundings, as in someone could be talking shit about me. Oh, he clicks his mouse one too many times. So like if I click my mouse, I'm pretty sure in a silent room, and I'm holding the mouse up to the microphone, I'm pretty sure it's picking up. That can probably get annoying. And I try not to click a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching YouTube videos. I'm doing my usual Facebook surfing, but or if I click, I try not to click aggressively. If that's any way, if you can do that, such a thing.
Sir, can you please stop?
Stop the clicking.
Can you please stop aggressively clicking your mouse? Thank you.
You clicking off?
No, sir. We're gonna have to kick you out if you keep this up.
Stop jerking off but stop clicking off in the library. Clicking off in the library. But I mean, I'm aware of my surroundings. This fucking dude today had like a 5 to 10 minute conversation on speakerphone in the library. Now, need be, and let's just say, and I'm not just saying this to be whatever, this library is a 99.9% white library. The gentleman, and mind you, no, trust me, because the white people are just as fucking bad. This happened to be a black gentleman, but I swear to God, has nothing to do with the fact, because he's a black guy from the suburbs. So what happens is he's kind of behind me too, so I could kind of see through like the reflection on my fucking laptop screen that he's even sitting in like the fucking library has like the little buggies, the little scooters, little rascal scooters, and he was having this whole conversation with his friend because he thought, because there was something that hit the news recently here in Rochester, was there was a kidnapping. There were like two college students got kidnapped. And were quote unquote held hostage. And I'm pretty sure there's more to the story. We could get to that in a second. But he thought he was calling his friend to ask his friend if their mutual friend's daughter was involved in this, because one of the girls she had like a very Italian last name, like Gigliotti or something like that. And apparently, since I heard the whole fucking conversation between these two guys, the girl that they were talking about, her name was like Galati and not Gigliotti. And they're like, oh, okay. So, it was just a false. But I mean, this guy was talking at the fucking top of his fucking voice. And of course, I say that right, as the heater clicks on. But it is, c'est la vie, it is what it is when you record in the basement.
That I locked Chris in.
But I mean, I've had people have full blown conversations like on the tables next to me. Now the one time I can forgive full blown conversations is if people, and I've had this, I've seen it. Plus, trust me, I've been in this library fucking pretty much every day for the past like month. When people come in as tutors, if you're tutoring somebody, I could understand speaking, and even then, put a little shade on it. Talk with a little bit of fucking like, these people are talking like, and I have headphones on. I have earbuds in my fucking ear, and I can fucking hear these conversations clearly. And there was one time, it was an old guy. He brought his laptop so he could have like some young kid look at it or whatever. And I want the internet, and I want the America Online, and I mean, having a full blown conversation right next to me. You got kids running through the fucking place.
I'm not surprised.
Yelling and screaming because their fucking parents are fucking privileged assholes that don't know how to fucking discipline their children. Nope. And don't be wrong. Look, I'm the first to say I let my daughter get away with murder, but not the shit that these kids are doing. These kids are full blown yelling like they're being fucking murdered in the fucking library. And so,
welcome to our society.
Yeah, and I mean, and you would think this is the fucking library in the suburbs. You think it would be a little more fucking decorum, and I just, and that kind of brings me over to my next segment. The next thing I wanted to talk about last night, and I kind of made a Facebook post about it. I was at the mall. Okay, here we are. The weather. Okay, yesterday the weather was really nice, but it wasn't nice enough for the kids to be playing outside.
Right.
So the mall, one of the local malls here in Rochester, has a playground inside. Little indoor mall. Now, mind you, it was actually out of commission like a week or two ago because they were putting down a new floor. It's a padded floor.
Well, I work at the mall, so yeah, I saw that.
And so it was out of commission for at least a week, or for at least a couple days. It was one of the days I brought my daughter there, and she was so pissed off because she couldn't play because it's too cold now to actually go to the outside park. So we go yesterday, and the place is finally fixed, nice. It's they still have some of the old things for the kids to climb on, but it's a whole new bottom, the whole new floor. And it's a nice padded. Now, mind you, there's a big, giant placard just outside where you're going, parents and children are to take off their shoes if you're going to go in the area.
Yep.
And, this is full-on Christmas buying season. The mall's in full fucking swing. For a fucking, Monday night, I mean, the mall was swamped. I was the only fucking parent there that took off their shoes walking into the kids' area. Like, all these fucking parents, and, because what happens is you can sit around the play area, but, I mean, I'm starting to get really fucking pissed. I mean, I feel like, what's his face? I feel like, Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm, or or George Costanza, like, we live in a society, people. There's rules. There's a big fucking sign here that says take off your shoes. Now, don't get me wrong. I bring my shoes with me when I you know what I'm saying, like,
right.
I'm not leaving my shoes out. I believe in taking off my shoes, but I'm not leaving my shoes where fucking anyone could just walk by and pick them up. And not that anyone's gonna walk away with my winter boots, my size fucking 12 winter boots. But these fucking parents are walking. Now, mind you, last night, it did rain last night, and they're dirty, fucking nasty shoes from outside, walking in this fucking kid area, and they just replaced the fucking, and that's probably why they had to replace the first one. Because people
somebody
probably
got slammed or something, they had to replace
and
it.
it's just, I'm fucking sick and tired I'm so fucking frustrated with, like, and the thing is brand new. And I want to I'm going to choke slam somebody.
Choke slam.
Okay. I'm just bitching here. For all the new listeners, welcome. Thank you for listening.
And goodbye. I know that you hate this show already. So.
This fat fucking guy does this fucking.
By the way, I do another podcast.
Paul does another podcast. It's Tsunami Faithful podcast. But this is. I mean, I'm hoping I'm being entertaining enough where it's not just me bitching. I'm trying to be entertaining about it. But okay, why is it that people cannot recognize that I'm in a hurry or I'm trying to do something? Like, okay, once again, in the library, I'll be there at my laptop with my earbuds on, and someone will start to talk to me. And I answer back, and Then I put my earbuds back in, and they continue to fucking talk to me. And I can understand if this was like pertinent, important information that they needed, but they want to continue the fucking small talk. And I'm like, didn't you see me put the fucking earbud back in my ear? Can't you see that I'd rather not have this conversation? And, fucking get a puppy. Get a dog. Hire a fucking friend. Get a podcast like me and bitch about it later on. I mean, and I've noticed that also in my job where, I'm a supervisor. And there's times where they will get on the intercom, the loudspeaker, and say, manager to the front. I'm walking, and I walk with purpose. For a fat guy, I'm pretty light on my feet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking. Oh, excuse me. Excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you see that I'm busy? Can't you see that? Didn't you just hear on the fucking intercom, manager to the front? You know what I'm saying? And it's always something fucking stupid. It's always, where's the such and such? And they're standing like right in the fucking area. Where's the cough medicine? You're standing in front of the fucking cough medicine. Look straight at fucking head. It's right there. And so and I don't know if it's a Rochester thing. Or because I think
what it is, and honestly, like,
I'm an asshole. I don't know.
No, you're not an asshole. But I think what it has to do is, like, people, like, they'll notice, like, oh, look, somebody's got his attention. Well, I need his attention now too. And it's just like, look, let me take care of this person. I actually have to do this with people. It's ridiculous because I am a manager, obviously. I had to sit there and be like people will be like, I'll be concentrating on this one customer, and they'll be like, can I have a conversation? I'm like, sir or ma'am, I'm talking to this customer. Once I'm done, I will take care of whatever you need. Okay. And some of them get pissed and they're over there like pouting and shit like a little fucking child. But it is what it is. Like, these people, like, and it's because I'm spending all this money, so I should have your attention and blah blah blah. I get it, I understand, but really, at the end of the day, like, you're gonna get my attention. I'm gonna take care of your issue, and if I can't take care of your issue, I'm gonna refer you to somebody that can. That's what it is. It is what it is. I can't just take care. I can't clone myself and be like, here's Paul 2. Paul 2 can take care of you while I take care of this customer.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's because I've worked in jobs like this where if I see someone that's busy, or even the way you ask the question, like, excuse me, or like, not excuse me, like Like, if I see somebody walking, I'll walk with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I have something that needs your attention, but I understand you're busy, so I will be here when you're done addressing the thing you're addressing before. And you know what I noticed? It's one or two people. It's people who have a lot of money, but people who have no money at all. Because both of them think the fucking world is...
Well, it's also like in your situation, in your store, where it is, and it's located. It's obviously located in the...
It's more poor. It is more poor.
Well, I mean, and what that means is that these people are trying to distract you while their buddy that's over on the other side of the store is trying to fucking steal something.
I think, it is people who work won't bother a person who's working.
Well, and here's the thing, too. Like, I love when, like, for example, when I'm working at the movie theater, like, these people... And on both sides where the box office is, I have windows, so I can see the hallway. There's a reason why they did that, so that way if somebody some stunad tries to sneak in the fucking exit way, I can see him. So I always, like the other night, I had security, and these two idiots walk in through the exit way, and I'm like, and he went and grabbed him, and they were bitching at him the whole way they left the thing. Like, and then they punched the door on their way out. It's like, really, dude? Like, you're the one trying to sneak in, yet we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Shut up. Like, get away.
And you got escorted out. Like, be happy I'm not hitting you over the fucking head for trespassing.
Be lucky that I don't call the Grease PD down.
Yeah, exactly. You got escorted to the door. That you got caught. That's call it a night. You're actually ahead of the game because for the dumb shit you're pulling, you could have been spending the night in fucking jail or whatever. At least until the next morning, until the fucking judge saw you. But I noticed it's always. I mean, I've dealt with this in people with money also. People, if they're really rich or they're really poor, like they've never worked for their money. They've never worked for what they had. So they come and they bother you because they have nothing else better to do with their time. They don't understand because a person who works, and you could tell the people who work. I have people, the people who work say please, say thank you, have a nice day.
Agreed.
It's the broke motherfuckers or the people with a lot of money that treat you like a fucking object, like treat you like a, look, motherfucker, it was, like the tagline for Kevin Smith's, Clerks, just because I serve you doesn't mean I like you. Know what I'm saying? I don't have to like you. I don't have to fucking, if this was any other situation, I'd spit in your fucking face. But, so with that, let me
Commercial
see.
break.
Okay. And we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-n-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Okay, so a few more things. This is the nerdy portion of the news. Not really nerdy news in particular, but when you think of podcasts, I mean, obviously doing a podcast, doing something like this, I'm inspired by Howard Stern. I grew up listening to Howard Stern.
5 more years.
Yeah, I grew up listening to Howard Stern, and when I say listening, actually, I had an older brother, so he listened to Howard Stern. And then so I was kind of like exposed to, and I was listening to shit from Howard Stern that I shouldn't have been listening to. And it's not, and once again, not really my fault, just more of my older brother's fault. But that being said, I mean, Howard Stern in his prime, fucking king of the airwaves, king of all media, as he calls himself. during his last stint when he was still on terrestrial radio, he became a bit of a whiny bitch. But I think, he lives in a world, it's one of those deals where, it reminds me of George Lucas. You surround yourself with so much fucking yes men. And it's so funny how these great men stumble later on in their career because they're so successful that they're surrounded by people that kiss their ass, that will tell them anything, will tell them everything that they want to hear. And it's not their fault. It's not that, they don't. It's hard to get a real perspective on the world when everyone.
Well, you also got to take into consideration too that there are some jobs where they say like if you say something or you do something, your job is gone. Goodbye, get the fuck out. So you can't always be like brutally honest like you want to be. You have to keep your mouth shut and just be like, I love this company.
Well,
I've done that before, trust me.
I mean, it's just like, Howard Stern used to be like, he was the working man's, he was always the guy, the truck drivers listen to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, that was because he was raunchy and stuff like that, but like, he's married to a fucking model and he lives, he goes out and spends, his weekends on the Hamptons. I mean, he's like full on fucking, Hollywood superstar, hosting, fucking America's Got Talent or being a judge on it. And it's all like, and I can't fault him. I mean, I would, once again, I'd kill for his numbers. I'd kill for his money, but, now he's signed on for 5 more years. And it's like, and I love it how he signs on for 5. He always bitches that he's going to fucking leave. Mm-hmm. He's, this fucking routine. If you haven't been listening to Howard Stern, and like I said, I've been listening to Howard Stern since I want to say about 91 or so, because that's around the time, like I remember like my brother listening to him, it's always the same, he bitches, and yet he comes back, you know what I'm saying? Or they throw enough money at him where he comes back and like there's no big surprise that he renewed his contract for another 5 years, and he has like the sweetest fucking deal, and he only works like 4 days out of the week, and he has like fucking like 6 weeks vacation altogether. He has like some ridiculous fucking there's, and then when you listen to the show, it's not, you got producers, you can spend an hour fucking just goofing on somebody, they bring in these fucking half-wits that they spend the whole show goofing on. So and I'm not really bashing Howard Stern. Like I said, he's for the lack of a better term, he's a hero, and I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I wasn't such a fan of his growing up. But he renewed his contract for 5 more years. No fucking surprise there at all.
It's got a lot of. I guess there's going to be an app, and you can get a lot of content from him. I'm guessing that it probably contains all of the content that he's had over the years. But there again, he's saying all the content. I'm pretty sure everything that's on XM and Sirius. All it is it's XM Sirius's iTunes. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making it, like he made it sound like they're doing some revolutionary fucking app. Dude, we can hire somebody right now to fucking make a Two Strangers One Podcast app. But all it does is redirect people it'll make it's a cute interface for just downloading the episodes off the fucking website. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like honestly, like it's a lot harder than that, because like, for example, there's actually and you see this ad a lot on Facebook where you can create your own app, but the problem is like if you want like thousands of people to be able to use it, which for us probably isn't what we really want, but for like the Tsunami Faithful podcast, for example, I could use that as something for people to use. Problem is, well, it's like $100 a month. Like no,
I mean,
I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that he's making it sound like it's some revolutionary app, and it's like, you're not doing anything as, I could say, hey, look, we have a Two Strangers One Podcast app right now. It's called fucking your Facebook app. Just visit Two Strangers One Podcast at Facebook.com, Facebook.com/Two Strangers One Podcast. You get all your fucking updates right there. But like I said, I mean, I'm glad he's working. I was always inspired by him. I mean, unfortunately, he lives in a fucking bubble where he's not in touch with reality anymore. But I'll give him every bit of props that he deserves, and I'm a fan of his, and I'm glad he's milking the fucking. He's gonna fucking die before he retires from radio. He's never gonna retire. He's gonna fucking.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that this might be his last like hurrah kind of deal, and then because dude, he's got millions upon millions of dollars. But there again, I mean, does he have any kids?
No, yeah, he's definitely got at least 2 daughters.
I think he's gonna like. I think he's basically gonna take care of them. And
I think he got 3 daughters, if I remember correctly, because
I think he's honestly like I think that's what he's doing.
But if he fucking retires, he's going to die. He's one of those guys. there are guys who, you know, and don't be wrong, when he was in his prime, I mean, he was a workhorse, getting up every fucking morning, fucking 3-4 o'clock in the morning to make sure you're in the station at 6 o'clock in the morning, or actually more. I mean, he's stationed at like 5 or 4:30, so you can do show prep, then to do a 5-hour show every day. You know, he was a workhorse in his prime. He's one of those guys that I think if he retires, he's gonna fucking be dead in a year because you know.
No, I don't think so. I think he'll be, you know, I think he'll. I don't think like I know what you're saying, but I don't think you're gonna not see Howard Stern. Like, for example, like,
he'll stop on the show, but we'll see him.
What is that show that he's on? America's Got Talent. Like, he's gonna be on that still, and then he'll pick up something else. You know, whatever.
Yeah, he'll have a fucking reality show.
With
or some
American
like
Idol ending this year, like, people are gonna be watching The Voice. People are gonna be watching America's Got Talent because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Now, something else will probably be made and come along, but
he'll have the internet version of his show. He'll have the Howard Stern YouTube channel.
I think we've talked about this a lot, though. So let's move on.
And speaking of podcasts, I just want to talk about this real quick. You know, we're kind of talking about this before the podcast. When you talk about when you being a podcaster and being in the podcast community, you see these people who are like, they're brand new to podcasting. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 3 years. Tsunami Faithful's been 2 years now? Or
no, we're coming up. Well, let's see. We started June 2012. So
you guys already hit your 3-year mark.
Yeah, we've already gone through.
So
years.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like, you know, not that and trust me, there are people who've had podcasts for 7 years and 5 years, and I give them their credit. But I'm talking about at least a weekly show. You know, people. You know, there aren't that many for people who do a weekly show. And I want to continue to be prolific in this podcast. But you see these people have like 15 episodes out, 16 episodes out,
right?
And you hear them say, "Oh, and I got this fucking computer, and I bought a $600 microphone." And all. And I was like, dude, you don't need a $600 microphone to fucking record people talking in a fucking basement. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, okay, there's a little bit of echo in this.
I mean, I think that when you're first starting out, like, for example, I have a Logitech. It's a headphone / mic kind of thing. It's made for podcasting, but it only costs me about $40-50. You know, it's a good investment for a podcast. Yeah. The thing is that I've been doing this for all these years now. I wouldn't, for me, I'll probably upgrade to a more professional mic at some point, but that's because I've been doing this for a while, and I know that the quality of my stuff is done there. Darrell has a better mic. I know that Jim has a better mic. I don't think Sketch has like something up there. I could be wrong, but I'll probably at some point do that. But that's because I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion, my thing is I don't think you never ever need to spend more, and even this is an total extreme. Never spend more than $120 on a fucking microphone.
Right.
What we're using right now is $100.
I mean,
now, mind you, and we're half-ass. I totally understand that we're half-assing this right now in the fucking basement, and there's probably background noise, and you hear the fucking heater, and that's all fine and good. I understand it, and I understand that's part of the show, and that's part of the charm. But I mean, like, even if you had the most professional fucking setup in the world, you don't need a microphone that's $600.
Let me go a step further.
Unless you're fucking recording an instrument. If you're recording musicians, yes, go for $600.
Let me go a step further. I don't think that you should be every single week going to a recording studio and having a really good professional setup and paying for that just to do a podcast. Like, this is all you need. All you need is Skype, a mic, headphones. You're good. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying
high speed internet, which I don't have.
Yeah, high speed internet. So, I mean, you know, and it's hard. I could tell you, like, for example, like, you know, I gave Chris an interview that we did that's not Toonami related. It's actually a geeky interview. We don't really do that many, but every time, you know, every once in a while something comes up, and, you know, we're like, okay, we'll put this in there. So, you know, for me, I don't edit, and I don't have the time to edit. Though at some point I may learn myself, and Chris, I might just like tie down Chris and be like, show me how to fucking do it. But you know, it's, you know, you don't necessarily have to know every single thing. You just need to have people that will help you and do what you need to do. But don't try to claim to be the best, and don't try to do something that's already there. You know, do something completely different. Like on the Toonami Faithful Podcast Network, there's us, the Toonami Faithful Podcast, but then there's also the Toonami Show Rundown. And what they do is they do a more extensive rundown of the shows. You know, they talk about the shows. Yeah, they have a little bit of news and everything, but they extensively run down these newer shows and talk talk about them and whatnot. You know, whereas we will do, you know, on the two newest shows that have never been on Toonami that, you know, it's a premiere dub, which means, you know, the English dub premiered on Toonami. You know, what we do is we take those and we just, you know, you
break it down without going into like super duper detail.
We don't take it to that degree. We don't go and just, you know, try to do something that we can't, you know. So
okay, let's get back to the nerdy news. I know we've kind of been talking you guys' ears off about stuff that should have been discussed in the first half of the episode, but like I said, we are 48 hours away now. Mind you, from what I understand, it's already premiered. They've already had the red carpet premiere for Star Wars. So as of right now, there are people online who can spoil the fuck out of it. Luckily, no one on my Facebook feed has done it. You know, I saw like one article that's like, you know, so far the reviews or people that are talking about it that legitimately can talk about it have said it's fantastic, it's wonderful, you know, it is everything it's cracked up to be. I mean, obviously, look, am I bought into the fucking hype? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I am the demographic. I'm gonna like this movie whether I like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I said, you know, and of course, yes, like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, this brings me back to the prequels. I mean, you know, that first trailer blew my fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to buy into the fucking hype, and I understand. I'm going into this with rose tinted glasses. I understand that I'm going this as a fanboy with a fucking rock hard, you know, hard on, my dick in my hand. You know, I know I'm excited about it, but you know, there are people like, oh, if it sucks, I don't want to. You know, if it sucks, I want you to tell me. You know, like, you know.
Well,
like,
from all the people that have gone on Twitter, and mind you, nobody's really spoiled this yet. From people that saw the premiere, and this is Tuesday for people that want to know that when we're recording. On Monday they had the world premiere in LA of this, and from you know what people were saying, this movie was incredible, and it's exactly what fans want. Now, that being said, you know, we don't know exactly. I mean, there are some people out there, and I've seen it's I think
rumors.
Reddit.
La la la.
I want to see. I want to say. Well, I'm not going to say it because Chris will kill me.
La 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 la.
If you go, there's some like on Reddit. There's some people. Apparently, there's one person that went to the premiere that's on Reddit that was telling people exactly what the whole movie was about. So I don't know if that one's true. If it is, you know, I think that's awesome, except for one part which I don't like. And you know, if that does happen, I'm kind of going to be like, ugh, that's stupid, but whatever. But you know, the way that from what I've heard and the setup of it, you know, it does look like this is going to be something that's going to be good continuing forward in this new trilogy. Also, I'm guessing, you know, that this is just going to be, you know, they've already like just sponsored the shit out of Star Wars on everything.
Oh, let me tell you, because, you know, where I work in a retail place, and, you know, part of working retail is setting up new displays, and I'm setting up a display, and it's for CoverGirl, and it's the Star Wars, and I swear to God, I said, this is a fucking, maybe, I said, I'm reading this wrong. It says Star Wars only because, you know, maybe they chose to use the word Star Wars. No, this is like a genuine and mind you, there's two displays. There's a light side and a dark side. CoverGirl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, here's the darker makeup.
Well, there's actually people out there in, you know, granted, Star Wars is everywhere. Subway, you know, you could probably mention a place and it's probably there. But you got these people that are taking the opportunity to play this game called I'm going to try to sell Star Wars merchandise. And I don't think they're going to get too far with it. Yeah, I understand that you can sit there all day long and try to say, oh, well, this was inspired by Star Wars. You gotta walk a thin line here, people. It's Disney we're talking here. They're actually telling people, and I know this because there's a buddy of mine that actually has a movie theater, and he's getting Star Wars, and what they said was, and they said on Wednesday night, the key becomes active so that way people can run it down and watch it. But they only want one person watching it, and that one person cannot say anything about the movie until it comes out on Thursday, because they don't want they don't want any spoilers, they don't want anything else.
And Disney is lawyered the fuck up. I mean,
they will come after you. They will fuck you up.
I mean, Disney, you know, without sidetracking just a split second, you know, Disney was going after fucking, like, there were daycares out there that had like Mickey Mouse, like they had an artist or some, you know, they had someone come in and put Mickey Mouse, like draw Mickey Mouse like on their window. And they're fucking, there were people, those people got letters from fucking Disney, like cease and desist, like, intellectual property and copyright infringement.
I know.
So in the movie, let me tell you, I am so fucking surprised. Here we are, 48 hours, and
I'm gonna say
without any major leaks or spoils, or you know what I'm saying, like, and of course you and I, we're a little more tapped in than the average Joe on fucking.
We can find stuff.
We're a little more tapped in. If we looked hard enough, we probably could.
Which I have.
I'm so surprised that there has not been a gigantic fappening level event.
Actually, it's like apparently out there's a lot of people that have taken this. What the hell do I want to say? To not like spoil Star Wars for other people. Now that being said, Wednesday night is going to be that next, like I said, that next batch of people. Yeah. They're going to watch it. Now we're going to see if these people start, spewing information.
Yeah. If they do, I'm just not going online. I don't think. Because we're recording this on Tuesday, so that means tomorrow night I just have to avoid. And it's not going to be hard because.
Well, no,
I got to go to work.
You got to understand something. You're not going to see this information start popping up until probably about I would say after 2:30 a.m. you'd start seeing this information, and that's Eastern time showing up. So we're already talking about Thursday morning, so I guess that's good. But at the same time, you're not going to see most of this until Thursday night. Yeah. So, and you're going to see it Thursday night, and then you're going to tell me what it's all about.
And we'll see. But I mean, that's the whole thing. Is that like at least like I thought I was late to the game. I bought tickets like last week or whatever. I bought tickets a couple days ago, and I thought I was late to the game. I thought I wouldn't be able to find like a show until fucking Friday or Saturday or something. No, I got Thursday night. Like I said when I started the episode, I wanted a 7:30 show, but unfortunately, I have to be an adult and actually have a job. So I'm going to like the 10:10 show, which by the time I get out of work, it'll give me plenty of time to get to the mall. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be anywhere near the front of the line, but
Well, you're coming to my theater, and I can tell you right now, most of those theaters have at least 200 to 300 seats in them, so I don't see you having a problem.
Yeah, as long as I'm not.
Well, you seen the 3D or you seen the regular?
I'm seeing 3D.
Well, I think then you're definitely going to be able to get a seat, because I can tell you right now, even though it's what am I going to say? Even though that like it is Star Wars, the 3D is not going to sell out. And I can tell you what Disney did was they played this game called 70-30. It has to be 70% 3D, 30% regular. And the reason they're doing that is because
they milk you for a couple more dollars.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they shot it in 3D too. I would imagine they did.
Of course, yeah.
And B, number two, they want to get as much money as they can, because once 4 weeks comes up, and it'll end up coming. 4 weeks will end up being right after Christmas and whatnot. Then the New Year and whatnot. They're gonna it'll go all the way to regular, and that's when a lot more people will come out for this movie. I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's gonna be over the holidays, probably a large majority of people are gonna see it, but this is gonna be the type of film that's gonna probably be out in main theaters until at least I would say February, and it's probably gonna do once it 3D goes away, there's gonna be a lot more people watching it just in regular. Because
I guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised. Let me tell you, by the time we fucking hit like Batman v Superman, there's still gonna be in theater number 6 Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Right.
I think I wouldn't be surprised in March, April, until they're fucking this movie's gonna be, because let me tell you, and I can tell you right now, I know I'm gonna go back and see it again, because I want to take my daughter to see it. I want to see it the first time only because I want to get it out of the way. I want to go opening night. I want to be part of the people are gonna fucking cheer. People go, as soon as you Luke Skywalker, the fucking place is gonna go nuts. You see C-3PO and Han Solo and all this. People, people are gonna go nuts to see the movie. But I know I'm at least gonna go back once to see it with my daughter. And let me tell you, if it's fun, I may fucking go back again with with maybe more people that are fucking like excited or whatever. Like Paul, you gotta go. Come on, let's go see it together, or whatever. Or whatever. Any kind of thing. Now, I kind of want to veer off on that. Another thing we're talking about for the podcast. People that are super excited about seeing the movie, they're actually enforcing rules the night, and of course, definitely after the crazy shit that's gone on in San Bernardino. And of course, I think this definitely goes back to the Batman Dark Knight Returns, the Dark Knight Rises, when the kid shot up the movie theater. People are going to be flocking to movie theaters Thursday night, and so security is going to be an issue, especially. I mean, just today, fucking Los Angeles, they got what they consider a quote unquote credible fucking threat, and the entire school district of Los Angeles, which is second only to New York City, fucking no one went to school today because they shut down the schools. The school
and I
buses,
commend them
everything.
for doing that, actually.
And so we have to be on extra alert in the theaters because this is a gathering place for people. You know, crowds are going to be there. You know, and I mean, it is a little weird that it's at night or whatever the case may be, but. You know, but you were saying that night, or at least where you know about, they're not going to allow people.
No,
to face.
If you have masks, don't bring them. If you're going to paint your face, don't bring it. Don't paint your face.
Don't paint your face.
Now, if you want to come in costume, that's fine, but do not bring any props with you.
Yeah, because they said, no. Here's the weird thing: they go no face paint. Which, okay, as of this movie right now, there are no real characters I can think of off the top of my head that wear face paint. But like, Darth Maul is a popular one, so you can't be Darth Maul. I think one of the rules you read, no hoods. So even if you are coming as a Jedi, don't put your fucking hood on.
Right.
But, you can't be, but some hoods, or if you're a Sith Lord or whatever.
And let me put this in perspective real quick. Like, in Atlanta at MomoCon, when you go into any of the buildings, I'm not sure if it's the Georgia Conference Center. I think that one's okay. But, and that was because of the con. But if you go into any other building in Atlanta, you cannot wear a mask. Mm-hmm. You're not allowed to do it. It's part of the law. So if you go into this, like the CNN Center is right across the street, and the CNN Center has like a food court, which, that's why they put MomoCon there, because there's a food court and whatnot, whatever. Mm-hmm. You could just eat there, and the security will not say anything to you unless you put a helmet, or like you put a mask on or anything. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same. It's kind of along the same lines. Like, we're doing the exact same thing. All the movie theaters should be doing the exact same thing, where, if you go into a concert, they're doing this now. You go to a Bills game, they're doing this now. You go to any major event right now, they're doing this. So this is nothing new. It's just movie theaters haven't really done this in a long time, or at all for that matter. And, it just has to be done because of all this stupidity out there. Yeah. And somebody is going to be stupid and try to do something. So if you have a prop, you have a quote-unquote toy gun or something, don't bring it.
And just leave it at home. I mean, the toy guns, I totally get. No masks, I totally get. The face paint, I'm a little...
Well, you got to understand
hood,
here. You got to understand here, like, if somebody puts face paint on and goes and shoots up a movie theater, you're not going to see their actual face. You're going to see something.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a general face of them? Sure, but you're not. But you would try to take that into a court.
It is a security issue. No, it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And then once again, I get the no blasters, but the no lightsaber. That's now you're breaking my heart here. So you can't have a light. I mean, don't get me wrong. A rule's a rule. And if I come to the theater and I came all fucking prop, I mean, of course, the one thing about face paint, obviously, then you have to go to the bathroom and wash that shit off, or go somewhere and wipe it off. But anything else, look, especially in the mall, whatever you got to go back to the car and leave it. You know what I'm saying? Leave your fucking blaster, throw it in the garbage, or take it back to your car. Then once you take care of that, you can come back to the theater.
Real quick, was it this last? Yeah, it actually was this last weekend. No. It was the weekend before. I had this asshole come up. He had a backpack. Now, there's a sign. There's 2 signs at the box office. There's one back at the ticket stand, clearly stating that we will search, bags and whatnot for, just to make sure that there's nothing coming in. Well, I told the guy, I just warned him. I said, just so you know, the security guard behind the box is going to check your bag, and that's what he did. Well, that's what he was going to do, but the guy put up this big huge thing, and the security guard's like, well, you can either put it in your car. I mean, we're not telling you that you don't have to. You can just go put it in your car and come back. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have a car. Okay. Well, and because the guy was being so rude, the security guard didn't say, didn't say that we could keep it up in the box. But the way that the guy was acting, it probably wouldn't have happened either way. Uh-huh. So, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get a refund, and he's trying to bitch at me. And for me as a manager, I just, I do this convenient ignoring thing where I'm sitting there being polite, and I hear him bitching, but for me, if I sit there and I turn to him and say, go fuck yourself, which I don't do that, but if I turn to him and said, hey, shut the fuck up, I'm trying to get your money, that's me getting in trouble, and now I'm gonna be fucked. So I said, no, I got his change. I was like, here you go. Have a nice day. He's like, go fuck yourself, and walks away. And the security guard behind me said to me, he's like, had you told me that, I would have had him arrested. But and see, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're coming up onto Star Wars, which is huge. We're gonna get people like that. Yeah. Oh, they want to bring in book bags. They want to bring this and they want to bring that. And guys, you can't do that anymore. Okay, I'm sorry. You want to bring your whole fucking dinner in your goddamn backpack. It's not gonna happen anymore. You got to leave your backpacks out in the car. Okay. personally, if I'm taking tickets on Thursday night, I'm going to tell everybody to put their bags in their car.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them, look, unless it's for your child, unless it's some bag for your child, like diapers and wipes and whatnot, you got to put your shit in your car. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be dealing with this tonight.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. You guys want to play I'm not trying to sit here and make this a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. We're talking about the safety of people. I'm not saying that you're going to come into a theater and blow it up or whatnot, but at the same time, we can't just be sitting back and just letting people walk in willy-nilly with whatever they want.
Yeah. And so, it is the way of the world.
Yeah, unfortunately, but you know what it is.
So I think it's time we wrap this up. That's what she said.
But first,
please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find all things show-related. You can go back and subscribe to us on iTunes, find the links to our iTunes page, and you can't go back and listen to exactly all 3 years, more 3+ years, but you can go back and listen to most of our episodes on iTunes. And if you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod for iTunes, you could also find us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER, the Stitcher app. And pretty much Stitcher is what I use, what I listen to. I listen to Kevin Smith. I listen to Chris Hardwick's Nerdist, Kevin Smith's Smodcast. Any podcast worth listening to is on Stitcher. And of course, Paul's other baby, the Toonami Faithful podcast, also on Stitcher.
Best podcast ever.
What I recommend, or what I tend to do is when I'm in a Wi-Fi spot, I'll use my phone, click the listen later option, make sure you have it in offline mode so it actually downloads the episodes to your phone. And then when you're out and about, you can listen to your episodes without having to fucking waste your data or kill your battery.
Or get in an accident.
Yeah, I'm just saying is you could, and I could, maybe because my phone is relatively newer, I could listen to about 8 hours worth of podcasts without it fucking draining. And I did when I was working when I was working overnights at my job a couple months ago. Let me see. If you can follow us on Facebook, I made that joke earlier. Yeah, we do have an Android and iTunes app. It's called fucking Facebook. Go on Facebook and follow us at facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. I'm slowly uploading all the episodes. I'm putting them on YouTube, and I'll get to that in a second. But you can actually from the older episodes, and I'm working my way towards newer episodes. You can listen to older episodes. The ones you can't find on iTunes or on Stitcher, you actually can find on our Facebook page or on our YouTube page. But I'll get to YouTube in just a second. Once again, it takes 2 seconds to like our page, 2 seconds to like our particular episode or to share the particular episode. We've been getting new views every day. And of course, what's cool is when you get views, then it goes on your timeline and it goes into other people's timeline. I think today we got up to about 31,000 our reach, which is pretty fucking awesome. So please like us, like the page. If you like this particular episode, like this episode. If you like, and I put out the artwork for the episode, like any bit of it, because it goes on your timeline and then your friends go, oh, what's this about? Or it would be great if you go, hey, I like this podcast, check them out. If you want to get in contact with us, which I'm surprised I didn't even check, you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. All spelled out. That's twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. You can get in contact with us. Like if you go back a couple episodes, we had a very loyal listener, who I think died in a fucking earthquake. But hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Stranger Podcast. And also, once again, I keep saying our YouTube page. This is the most important one. If you can go on our YouTube page and actually, if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, just go on YouTube, search for Two Strangers, One Podcast. I've been putting out old episodes of the podcast in video form, but I've been doing my own little thing called the Stranger Vlogs. I think they're interesting. I wish the numbers would get up a little higher on them, but you can check us out. Check out the Stranger Vlogs, check out old episodes, and even if you have an Android phone, that means you have a Gmail account. Subscribe to us, even if you don't even use YouTube. Just subscribe to us because it helps the numbers, because once I get over 100 subscribers, then I could actually get the personalized youtube.com/twostrangersonepodcast. Any help, any bit would help. We greatly appreciate it. And that's all I can think about it. And I just put out a video while we talk about Star Wars. I did a video about the diversity in Star Wars, having a black lead character and a female lead character and everything like that. So check out that Stranger Vlog. It's on YouTube. Just look for Stranger Vlog, VLOG.
And I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
All right, well, you can find me on Twitter. It's at Paul Pascrillo. You can find me on Instagram, instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. And you can also find me on ask.fm. It's ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. If you want to ask me some questions, please do. I'll answer any questions that you have. Of course, as Chris has said, I am part of the Toonami Faithful podcast. ToonamiFaithful.com is my baby. So if you guys want to listen to that other podcast, it's soundcloud.com/Toonami Faithful podcast. And we're also on iTunes and Stitcher, so please do listen to us. Twitter is at Toonami Podcast, and Facebook.com/Toonami Faithful podcast. So follow and like us there. And I think that's about it. We do have a geeky interview coming up, so be on the lookout for that. You can find all the nerdy content that we put up geekyinc.com, so go there as well.
And like I teased earlier in the beginning of the episode, I did actually watch all those trailers. So before we sign off, I'm going to play that audio, and here we go. Part of the whole reason I record this podcast, when I come to Paul's house, I purposely do not watch trailers online. I said, let me save it for the podcast, because every day I drag myself out of bed and I take myself to the public library until I'm able to afford proper Wi-Fi, and then I watch the trailers when I get to Paul's house. So I'm a little hyped up right now because I just drank like a whole fucking 2-liter ounce of fake generic dollar store brand Mountain Dew.
I'm very scared.
So in no particular
order, try to rape me.
I'm sorry. It's not rape if it's consensual on both sides.
Did you bring blue?
And so in no and it's weird because it's for the past couple of episodes I've been recording these sort of like without any like there seems to be 2 new trailers each week. It seems that way. And this week is actually episode is actually 4 trailers that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching the Star Trek Beyond, the Independence Day Resurgence, X-Men Apocalypse, and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was it Coming Out of Our Shells or some shit like that?
Yeah,
out of the shadows. That's what it is. But didn't they have Coming Out of the Shells? That was the name of their live show.
I don't know.
Coming out of the closet. Hello. Okay, so
Chris says
that's gonna be weird. Okay, but
it's already weird.
I don't know. I'm hearing myself.
I feel like I'm going to be raped, people.
Okay, so here we go. I'm starting with the Star Trek Beyond, and of course, already I'm getting hearing tons of pushback already. I haven't even seen these trailers, but I've gone enough online where I see people complaining about it.
Well,
so
the Star Trek one's not bad. It's
Star Trek Beyond from the same guy who did Fast and Furious, if I'm not mistaken. After it was supposed to be Kurtzman and Orsi, Roberto Orsi or Alex Kurtzman, the 2 of the guys that actually J.J. Abrams sidekicks. They helped create Laws, they helped create Fringe. They wrote the first 2 Transformers movies. They were the executive producers for Transformers Prime. One of them was supposed to direct this one, but he pulled out. And so now the director from the Fast and the Furious is doing it. So here we go. Star Trek Beyond off the official Paramount YouTube page. Here we go. Okay. Proof for all audiences. Thank goodness, because I didn't like Into Darkness. And of course, what I'm hearing already, they're playing Beastie Boys, which a lot of people say thematically isn't connected to Star Trek. And so Simon Pegg's asking about the music, so I guess Captain Kirk is a Beastie Boys fan, because J.J. Abrams is a Beastie Boys fan. There's even a Star Wars character named Elo Asti, which is supposed to be Hello Nasty. Alright, so Simon Pegg wearing a red shirt, almost dying, popping out of some sort of
popping out.
Okay. Oh shit. Okay, so Spock gets beamed out right. That's kind of funny. And those spaceships look like something out of fucking Halo. Okay, producer J.J. Abrams, who will be known as Jar Jar after a week. Okay, so this looks like an action movie, and this looks...
Mind you, I've seen a lot of Star Trek, but I have no idea who they're fighting.
Yeah, Can we get fucking Klingons already? It's been 3 fucking movies. Because I know in in a deleted scene in I'm too busy talking about it to even watch this trailer. Oh, so I guess you can beam people while moving?
Something like that.
So if you beam while you're moving, do you continue the momentum that you had before you beam? Okay, well, in a deleted scene in either Star Trek or Star Trek Into Darkness, there was a teaser where they had Klingons, but you didn't see their faces. They had full-on face masks, but the mask that they had kind of had the little ridges built into the mask. So that could either be the old school Klingons from the 60s TV show, or it could be the newer Klingons with the ridges, because maybe the mask just has ridges. Okay, so ultimately it looks okay. It doesn't look like a Star Trek movie. It just looks like an action sci-fi
movie.
Right.
So, I don't know. It looks good. I'm not a big fan of the Beastie Boys being played during the trailer, but yeah. Okay, so here we go. Independence Day Resurgence.
That one's Star Trek. And compared to Star Trek, this one is.
Well, I mean, this is a sequel to a shitty movie. So, what do you expect? I mean, I don't expect. I'm not expecting.
Excuse me. Independence Day was not a shitty movie.
Okay, well, not a. Okay. I strike that from the record. Not a shitty movie.
You better not strike.
But like the quintessential popcorn movie. Like when anyone talks about summer blockbuster, you know, I would say after. Okay,
Chris,
the original Star Wars.
When was Independence Day? When did it come out?
1996,
something like that. Yeah. So guess what? We're fine. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying is the original blockbuster movie was like Star Wars, and then E.T., and then I don't know. So Independence Day
became like a cult classic kind of movie.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's not a bad movie. Okay, like I said, not shitty, but
I'll allow you to.
I'll
allow you to this one.
I'm not anticipating much from this. Okay, so
yeah, watch this one
off the 20th Century Fox YouTube page. Here we go, Independence Day Resurgence, and here we go. Okay, 20th Century Fox logo. Okay,
it's gonna be sad not to have that during Star Wars.
It's gonna say Bad Robot and Disney. Okay, a caravan going through the desert. UN. So this is Earth after the invasion. We've all become friends, and everybody's probably alien shit. You know? Okay, who's you? Okay, there we go. Jeff Goldblum. What? Okay, an alien ship head first in the ground. Is that what's going on? Well, yeah, they'd come back. Of course, they'd come back. Oh God, Thor. Okay, so we've incorporated alien technology, and we got microwaves and cell phones. Okay, all right. Okay, Bill Paxton. Judd Hirsch, he's still alive?
Apparently.
Okay, so now they're attacking. Okay, why is he sporting a fucking homeless man beard?
Well, he's not the president anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, Bill Clinton isn't the president anymore, and he's not rocking a fucking homeless look, you know? Okay. Oh, yeah, let's shoot bullets at the fucking giant spaceship that just ripped the hole into the wall. So is this supposed to be like Will Smith's kid or some shit like that?
Yeah, I'll explain that once this trailer's over.
Okay.
Because they explained it the other day.
And then in the background, they're playing the Bill Paxton speech.
That awesome speech.
Okay, so no Will Smith. The movie that made Will Smith. Okay,
it's a bigger shit.
Well, I thought they were circled. They're not circled.
Apparently, this is like the whatever.
And
so apparently they came out, and I guess there's going to be like a story in there where he's testing technology. Pretty much he blows up while he's testing technology.
Oh, so Will Smith. So that
he's trying to fly one of the new crafts, and then he dies.
Well, I saw what they. I don't know. It was obviously like internet speculation where it was going to be. Well, people were rumoring that he would have been the president in this movie. Like he would have been the hero of the war.
Well, he didn't want to do it, and I mean, it just. Well, I don't think he didn't want to do it. I think they just didn't pay him the right.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, why wouldn't you?
Give him 30 million. I mean, that's probably not. That's nowhere near what the fucking special effects budget would be. Okay, so that didn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. It didn't look shitty. It just looks like, you know, more of the same. Independence Day 2, more of the same. That's what they should call it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go to the next fucking abomination.
Which trailer is this?
This is staying with 20th Century Fox, and we're going to the X-Men.
You may have
Apocalypse.
You may get a stiffy from this.
Can we get a stiffy? Okay, let's see what happens. X-Men Apocalypse, here we go. Okay, that's the Cerebro. And they should just like fuck with us and put like Thor in here or something.
Yes, we need more Thor in our life.
Sony's working with, you know, give us some character we don't see anymore. Or show like both what's his face? The one that runs real fast. The hell's the guy's name? The one that runs real fast.
You're asking me a question?
The guy with the goggles. He was only good part of the last movie.
I can't think of his name.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Silver Streak, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oh. Yeah, he died in Avengers. You're right.
Spoilers! What I'm saying is they should have had both of them in this movie. Like some sort of weird... Okay, that's Jubilee and Beast and... Okay, I like it that they're making him... He looks more blue here than purple.
Yeah, what's his name's in that, which is nice.
Olivia Munn, queen of the fucking...
Horse?
No, queen of the fucking fake geek girls.
I was saying horse, but okay.
Jennifer Lawrence. Okay. Yeah, why does Magneto just kill everybody immediately?
Apparently Magneto is under Apocalypse's spell, it looks like.
Oh. And then, of course, this guy's shooting rays out of his eyes like in every movie. Oh, shit!
What?
Big Apocalypse is like real big, and he just smashed like Xavier into the ground. But they couldn't give him the lips. Come on, they could have given him the lips. And again with the bridges. Really? Didn't Magneto fuck up the bridges?
Dude.
Dude. I'm sorry.
This is a good trailer.
I'm all hopped up on fucking caffeine.
I know this. I can see you drinking it.
X-Men, a pack of lips. Because oh shit, son. Now he finally looks like Agent 77. Professor Xavier finally. Once again, interesting, not mind blown, but
that one looks better. That's probably the best out of the three. I would say Star Trek is next, and then
out of what I've seen so far, I would say of these movies, I'm still gonna do Ninja Turtles, but that's gonna come up next. Out of all these movies, which one do I want to see the most? I probably right now I would say Star Trek is leading the pack, not by much. But
you'll like Ninja Turtles. They made some changes.
Here we go with the Ninja Turtles.
They made some notable changes.
And this website is TMNT Movie. I guess their official Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle page on YouTube. And here we go. Our audiences. They should do something with that green screen. They should have added that somewhere into the trailer. Okay, so now we have the cloud from Green Lantern opening up over New York City. No, not when Galactus attacked from Fantastic Four 2. Okay, and then you see the aliens from Avengers. What is holding out a fucking sword to make it go ching? It wasn't the sword, it was the fucking sheath of the sword. Oh god, here we go. More Ninja Clan as soldiers, I'm assuming. I mean, ninjas on bicycles. Ah, Little Run DMC, okay. Driving a fucking garbage truck, and they live in a sewer, so they must... Okay, that's gotta suck if you're shooting a fucking manhole cover at somebody. So now they're wearing pants.
What? Wait, look! Ninjas with swords. About fucking
they
time.
look bigger.
That's what
Alright, genuine. Aw shit, son. Casey Jones. Jose Canseco back. Tell me you didn't pay money for this. Okay. Really good. Baxter Stockman.
New Shredder.
Is Tyler Perry as Baxter Stockman.
Yep.
Which I can get behind. I can get behind that. Nice. Oh shit.
Sheamus the wrestler is one of those guys.
Yeah, and the other... At least, how is it that they get Bebop and Rocksteady right, but they don't get the Ninja Turtles right?
You gotta understand, they're probably still going with what they had, because, why change it now, you know what I mean?
But they could have said, okay, we're not gonna do that anymore, or something. They make a joke about the first movie.
Well, they apparently changed Shredder.
This is the scene from the first movie. Like, when they're sliding down the mountain.
No, that's them in a tank.
Okay, yeah, tank going through water.
Whatever.
Okay, I do have to say it looks fun. It does look fun. Which is the best part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first movie is when they're in the elevator playing the music, when they start so this looks like fun. You got Baxter Stockman, you got Bebop, you got Rocksteady, you got Casey Jones. This should have been the first movie.
Yes.
But
that's basically what they're doing. They're trying to
make it look more like the Ninja Turtles that we know and love and grew up with.
Right.
Okay, I dig it.
They've heard older fans and are going, okay, maybe we should make some changes.
Stop fucking around.
Yes.
And alright, so we'll get back to the episode. And we're back. That was my reaction to the trailers for Star Trek Beyond, Independence Day Resurgence, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows, and X-Men Apocalypse. We certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening, had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers on Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. We're out.
Bye. You should be fapping.
Put it in my arm.
Oh, Paul. No loop.
That was a little too far. That's what she said.
Bye.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled C-O-L-O-N.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history. much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. It's just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudity in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.